Session 3, stored pain. When strength becomes tightness. Spiritual metabolism, reframing, reprocessing, recycling, resilience. In Session 2, we talked about survival mode, how trauma, chronic stress, or pressure compacts the soil of your inner life. We said survival keeps you standing, but it can narrow your growth. Today, in Session 3, we're going deeper into what happens when pain is stored instead of processed. Stored pain rarely explodes. It leaks. It leaks into your tone, into your patience, into your need for control, into your inability to rest. It can look like high performance. It can look like emotional distance. It can look like I'm fine. I once sat with a man, I'll call him David, not his real name, who had survived enormous responsibility for decades. He was dependable, calm, respected. But when we sat in silence, he admitted something simple. I don't feel much anymore. That's stored pain. And there have been seasons in my own life where I recognized something similar. I wasn't breaking down. I was tightening up. I wasn't collapsing. I was compressing. And I realized something sobering. Strength that never processes eventually becomes stiffness. And stiffness reduces capacity. Spiritual metabolism is the ability to decompose experience the way soil decomposes organic matter. Waste becomes compost.
Pain becomes wisdom.
Pressure becomes resilience. But if decomposition never happens, accumulation does. And accumulation makes you heavy. Now let me say this again clearly. This is not therapy. This is not diagnosis. This is spiritual transformation, the inner work of telling the truth and allowing your soul to process life. However, if your symptoms go beyond stored tension into persistent anxiety, depression, panic, hopelessness, or unsafe thoughts, seek professional support. Here is a smart self-test you can reflect on. Over the past month, have I felt consistently hopeless or numb? Have I struggled to function normally? Have I experienced panic, intrusive thoughts, or uncontrollable anger? Have I relied heavily on substances or behaviors to numb pain? Have I had thoughts of harming myself? If you answer yes to multiple of these, especially safety-related concerns, schedule an appointment with a licensed professional. Seeking help is strength. There is no shame in support. Now, back to spiritual metabolism. Stored pain is not failure. It is unprocessed experience. And transformation begins when you say, this is still inside me. That honesty loosens the soil. That honesty restarts digestion. That honesty is the beginning of reprocessing. Here is the closing reflection for session 330. Where in your life are you strong but tight? Where are you productive but not at peace? In session 4, we begin the first movement of the 4R framework. Session 4, reframing, changing the meaning you attach to what happened. We will explore how interpretation shapes identity and how reframing begins restoring spiritual metabolism. Spiritual metabolism, reframing, reprocessing, recycling, resilience, because what you don't process, you carry.